Linda in the UK. We've got an update from an email that she sent 2 years ago. Linda, can you hear us? Hello.
Can you hear?
Yes.
Hello?
Can you hear us?
Can you hear me?
Oh, no. Yes, we can hear you.
I can hear you.
Okay,
Oh,
cool.
good.
What can we do
Good.
for you?
We're connected. What can we help you with?
Okay. Oh, hi. Yeah, lovely to speak to you all. Yeah, I don't know if you remember me, Christy, because I emailed. Obviously I didn't speak to you. I emailed you, and I think it was Megan, and you both put a portion of about this in your show.
Basically, very first episodes actually, so it's pretty ingrained in my mind. It was a big moment, but I'd love to hear you just kind of recap it for the audience.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so I at the time I was having a really difficult time with my because I have a daughter who basically transgender daughter, lovely person, but unfortunately my husband was extremely negative towards her and very angry about it, wouldn't accept it, and I was having a really difficult time with that. And I come from my actual background is my own family are very, very strongly religious, indoctrinated me when I was young, but I'm an atheist and have sort of break free from all that. But obviously they don't agree with how I'm allowing things to be for my daughter. And so, yeah, but I just thought it'd be lovely to speak to you. It was really, do really value your show. And I think you said things like about how my husband, perhaps, wouldn't perhaps change his mind, and it is linked to what you were saying about how, what was it? I'm sorry, I'm losing my track. I'm sorry, I've forgotten what I was going to say.
Yeah, it can be a little bit of a stressful moment. I definitely get that. Why don't you tell us a little bit about where you're at tonight and maybe what's on your mind at the moment?
Sure, yeah. And so, the update is that I'm now divorced from him. And
sounds like congratulations are in order, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I have 2 children, and one is still in touch with her dad, but the oldest one, who is transgender, is not, and his behaviour really hasn't changed at all in that sense. But we're doing all right. We're much better than what we were. Yeah, but my daughter is sort of in the middle of things, and the old transgender daughter who, if I were to go and visit the extended family, they will still refer to her in her old name and will refuse to acknowledge it and think that I'm wrong. And they've got these very sort of dogmatic, strong beliefs, although she still wants to see them.
Yeah.
But my child still, and there is love there, but they just, they've got all these views that, that the religious things, that the indoctrination and all the things that they've been told, these things are wrong, and you like hit a brick wall with them. You can't get anywhere with them. So it's quite frustrating, and I feel bad for my, it's sort of, I'm coping all right with it, actually. I'm not really here because I suppose I'm not calling you because I really need help. I just thought it'd be lovely just to call and just to say hello and thank you for what you're doing, and you know, but I don't know really what to ask you, what to say, where to, you know, it's because it's a difficult situation, because obviously having divorced and all that, it's still wanted to keep some level of normality for the children, and I don't want, and to keep whatever good feeling is there. Mm-hmm. And aside from the issue with the them not agreeing with how my child is, which is silly, we don't get on strangely. So at the moment, it's kind of, we don't live close anyway, and with the COVID thing, I haven't seen them for a while, but seen them physically for a while. But yeah, I just thought I don't really know what to say. I apologise. I feel like I should have something profound to say, or
no. Well, let me ask you. I mean, for the last year and a half, I'm sure before that, you have been coping with this reality of loving somebody who is then being rejected by the rest of your family. And I'm sure you by extension in a lot of ways. And I'm curious just how you've been able to manage that situation. I mean, what has kept you safe? What has kept you sane? What has kept you healthy during this difficult period? Because I know that there are people watching who are just glad to know that it can work.
Yeah. Well, I think I mentioned in that email that I've had been taking my child to Gendered Intelligence. That's run by people who are identify as transgender. It's sort of like a youth group, and my daughter attended that, and then other parents meet up. And so when I was in the situation, I still went to parents' meetings and got a lot of advice and support, because really the way he was behaving was quite abusive, and it helped me to realise that and to get what I needed to get away from the situation and to, you know, protect us all, really. So that was, and then I've actually had a bit of counselling as well, just to help me to sort of think through it all, and that's it really. I'm just sort of really, but I you know, so I'm kind of okay in myself. I kind of got a way of seeing things quite clearly, but I guess I feel like I do really, at the same time, I face a lot of the, you know, ongoing issues with the sort of quite strong, you know, religious sort of side of things. And then my husband for slightly different reasons, not the same religious sort of reasoning, but it's so I guess, you know, I don't know really what to say, but it puzzles me why religions sort of hold on to these, you know, you must be heterosexual and you must be, and you know, and all these silly rules that they make up, and it's always frustrated me. I didn't know my child would turn out to be transgender. That, you know, before that I could never understand it either. So yeah.
Well, Linda, I just want to thank you for calling in and updating us, not only because it's a good update and it's a good story, and we love hearing the people we've talked to before have come to a place that is more comfortable, but also it's such a beautiful way to wrap up this conversation that we've been having by having a mother call in and say, hey, I got my kid out of a bad situation. I accept them for who they are. I'm being supportive. That's so affirming. So thank you for calling in.
Yes. Lovely to speak to you. And thank you all for what you're doing. I really appreciate it.
Thank you. Well, have a lovely rest of your day. I think it's the day there, 6 hours. No, it's probably pretty late there. Actually.
It's actually like 2:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
I don't really know what.
Have a lovely rest of your night.
Okay. All right. Bye. Thanks very much. Okay. Andrew, bye.
All right. That is it for calls for tonight.
Yeah, just good to know that these stories can have happy endings. You know, I'm actually going to see if I can't dig out that clip of us back in January of 19. I still have that email from Linda, and I remember reading that because it was one of those like, what do you do in the face of something so huge? And I am sure that a lot of the folks who are listening to this, I mean, we've already seen it from so many of our callers. There is that question of how do you meet the demand of something so overwhelming? And on the one hand, I think you just have to embrace and accept the fact that you, quote, can't. On the other hand, I want to really highlight the power of just showing up. We've mentioned it a couple of times tonight, and by just being a good mom, by just taking care of yourself, taking care of your kids, by being a good uncle, by being a good, all the different people we've spoken to tonight, if you can just take care of yourself, be a good person, and take care of the people around you, that's certainly not a simple thing or an easy thing to do, even if it sounds so simple.